Welcome back for 5 days, 5 VRs. For day 2, we will be doing the VR to the hashtag Draw Me Like One of Your French Decks from the ladies over at the Actual Tarot podcast. I will leave a link to them below. And this first broadcast, I think, maybe around summertime of last year. And it was so much fun to watch. And then Meg did a VR and tagged me to do this. And I'm so sorry I'm late, Meg. Okay, I'm like half a year late. I understand. And also, I feel like this is a great time to talk about my daily practice, which is the focus of this tag, which the ladies just talked about their daily tarot practice, what that looked like, shared some spreads that they would use and other methods that they've used. And then also they actually did a spread together on the podcast. So anyway, my daily practice is ever evolving. As it is now, I do pull at least a daily draw most mornings. And this year I'm trying to be better about recording those daily draws. And so I've been using my Metaphysician's Planner for that, among other things. It has this fantastic set of pages here where you can just go ahead and record all of your draws. And I've also been using the monthly view to keep track of the actual decks that I have been using, because I want to be better about that too, so that I have a better sense of the decks that I actually used throughout the year versus ones that I never used or touched. So as you can see, I'm finishing up my second week of working with Ethereal Visions. And before that, I had worked with the Fenestra Tarot for 2 weeks. So we shall see if I keep going with Ethereal, or maybe I'm thinking I might switch to something else. But so that's how I have been tracking that. And I also, so far, it's basically, in terms of my morning draws, I have done just a draw of a tarot card, but it could very well be that I will say on any given day or week, decide to do a tarot plus an oracle, or maybe, a 3-card Lenny pool. So I keep that pretty flexible. I also, for some of the spreads that I want to actually have a visual and written record of in more detail, I do use my journal for that. I have shown a few pages of this in previous videos, and I have received some requests that you would like to see more. So I'm gonna try to do that for you. A lot of it is personal, so that's always the tricky thing. And this is, it is mostly tarot stuff, but also kind of like one of those commonplace journals where you just dump whatever in. So there are other memories and personal things like that. But in any case, I use this as well, along with my morning card. On any random given day, I will also use the tarot to ask it any kind of mundane decision-making question, really just as an excuse to use it, to have fun with it, to practice with the tarot. I think it should be a tool used as much for enjoyment and frivolity as it is for some of the hard-hitting areas of our lives that we want to explore. And that's just me. So as an example, at a certain point last year, when I still had my gym membership, I was debating, okay, well, I've got some, weights at home. I could totally do my lifting session at home. But, the gym, there are just more machines available, et cetera, et cetera. should I just do my lifting sesh at home or should I go to the gym? And I used the Blythe Tarot for this question, and I received 5 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, and 5 of Cups. Now, for me, just looking at this, it's like, okay, I think I should just stay home and work out. Okay. And I am at a point now where I don't necessarily need to be like, well, 5 of Wands could mean this, and 4 of Pentacles would be signifying this in the situation. And then, sure, I could do that. And I think that if you were a newbie and you feel like you are wanting to practice, or even as a seasoned person, just to, keep things like a well-run machine, sure, if you have the time for that, you want to do that, great. For my part, when it comes to questions like this, I don't necessarily need to go card by card. I can look at this and be like, I'm gonna stay home and lift. I could very well be like, okay, if I go to the gym, I'm just going to be fighting for all of the equipment with the dude bros who are going to be like hogging the leg press when I could have just been at home, regretting my decision that I could have been at home using my own weights. Yes, I could have done that, but I don't always need to do that. Same thing for another question that I had last year. This was around the time that we had put up our condo for sale on the market, and I just wanted, a vibe check on a person who had expressed interest in purchasing a house and put in, bid and everything. And I pulled, it was just, let me get a general feeling of how this potential buyer is feeling about the condo and how this might all potentially play out. And I got these 3 cards from the Masters of the Universe Tarot that I used. So you've got 6 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, Page of Cups. So, just again, by looking at these cards and not having to give myself, how many minutes of analyses, I can be feeling pretty good about the prospects. And in fact, that buyer did end up purchasing our condo, and everything worked out in the end. Now, I am all about asking the more serious questions, and I'm also inclined to do more predictive style readings, and I don't limit that to the tarot. So as another example, last year around the same time, when we were looking for a new home to purchase, we had lost the bid on a house, which was pretty disappointing. But then we found another house that we wanted even more. And we just also thought there's no way in hell we're going to win this house. But we decided to put a bid down anyway. We maxed out on our limit. We were just like, this is all on the table. This is it. This is as much as we are willing to pay on any house. So we put our maximum amount and we just kind of impatiently waited. And during that time, I decided to ask the mini butterfly Lenormand, are we going to win this house? And so the cards that I pulled, and I'm just going to show you like this because I don't want to mess with the camera, but we have paths, ring, and lily. Aren't these adorable? Oh my God, I love mini decks. Anyway, okay, so when I received this reading, I gotta say I was pretty hopeful because what this was telling me was that yes, there's going to be a change in direction, something new coming along. And there's going to be an agreement, a contract signed that would lead to something lasting for a long time, several years. And so to me, this spoke to the fact that we would in fact win the bid and be signing, signing the contract, closing on the deal, be living in this home for a long time, a long while. And sure enough, later that evening, we got the news that we did in fact win the bid for the house that we're living in now. So I did show you some examples of what I would call, especially with the tarot, kind of more a freestyle reading of for a question. But I also like to do more focused spreads that have a prompt for each particular card in a sequence. And I usually get those spreads from, online, certain tarot accounts on Instagram that I follow, and ones that I have noted down in my journal that I've found previously that I like to reuse. And then I also have my own spread that I created based loosely on, like in the US, there's this thing called Rose Thorn Bud that I guess people do, where they just kind of go around at the end of the day and talked about one thing that was great about the day, which is rose, one thing that wasn't so great about the day, which is thorn, and then what they were, looking forward to the next day, which is bud. So I decided to kind of create a spread around that idea. I just actually did that reading a few days ago using the Luna Soul Tarot. So I had pulled the cards King of Wands for my rose, Eight of Swords for thorn, and Four of Cups for bud. So this is, to me, very much another one of those like vibe check type of spreads that I certainly don't do every day, but I like to do here and there just to kind of get a gauge on things. And so this certainly tracks in terms of, the rose, something you are grateful for, a blessing in bloom. So for me, I am so grateful that I am feeling I'm feeling mastery over some of the potential plans that I have, some projects, and since I have practice in doing certain skills, and I can apply those same skills that I have mastered towards some of these other endeavors that I have in mind to do. So that is definitely something that I feel grateful for, that I do feel pretty grounded in being able to lead myself in these projects. And then, okay, thorn. So this would be a situation or distraction that's jabbing you. And okay, I know what this is about, and I'm not going to talk about it. And then, and then bud, a new opportunity or something to grow. So yes, this is certainly just a little reminder that there is something that will potentially be showing up for me that I need to be on the lookout for, that I shouldn't get lost in maybe certain aspects of stagnation or just the mundane routine that we just are on autopilot, and that there's going to be something coming very soon, and I need to keep my eyes peeled. And that is how my daily practice looks like at this point in time. I mean, I would not be surprised if even like a few weeks down the line, it changes once again. Like I said, it is ever evolving. It hasn't ever stayed the same for long periods of time, really. There have been stretches where I do a daily pull, and then I've gone stretches where I'm like, nah, I don't feel like doing daily pulls. But now this time around, like, I'm back to doing a daily draw. So I just like to do whatever I'm called to do, whatever feels great, and just not get too hung up in something too structured or too rigid. I just want to enjoy my practice. And so right now, this is what's been feeling really good for me. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you for day 3 of 5 days, 5 VRs. Until then, much love and take care.